Championdrakath, the challenge fight that has literally only just come out and is proving to be one heck of a problem. If you're new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and of course leave the video with a like. So we're going to run through the battle guide. I've got a strategy that has now been tried and tested a couple of times and it does the trick. It's not the easiest thing in the world though, I must say, and there are a couple others out there which I've got very close with but haven't quite managed to do it. So this isn't going to be the only way, but this is a way that will work for you. Anyway, let us get in to what is the battle notes. So the boss has a 20 million HP. The typical DPS is 1,200 to 3,000. That is without a class we're going to mention later on. Final stand happens at 2 million HP. We'll talk a little bit more about that as well. There's very powerful attack and the boss's nuke does not miss. Dealing damage to the boss, there's a few different phases. There's this high damage phase between 20 million and 17 million HP. There's a medium phase between 16 million and 10 million. Low damage roughly happens between 9 million and 2 million, and then you're back to dealing high damage to him at 2 million to 0, which is really quite important. So what is final stand? When Drakath reaches 2 million HP remaining, he will begin to charge up. You must defeat him within roughly 20 seconds, otherwise your whole team will wipe and you'll have to start all over again, which is a step I'm sure many of you are getting to and looks something like what I'm showing you on screen. This is actually a run that we did a lot earlier in the day using Chrono Commandant, Lord of Order, Stonecrusher and Arch Paladin, and actually it did really well. We just missed out on a couple different occasions by literally a couple 100,000 health, which was really irritating. But that did lead us on to something slightly different. Anyway, shout out to Deso if you're watching this, because this is all due to him. So, Naval Commander, using the Void High Lord switch, we'll explain that. Stonecrusher, Lord of Order, and Arch Paladin. This is a really solid run, and I'll be going through exactly what the strategy is. So, for part 1, you have Naval Commander, Lord of Order, Stonecrusher, Arch Paladin, all attacking. And part 2, when the boss reaches 2.5 million HP, whoever is running Naval Commander logs out, comes back in and switches to Void High Lord. Then they are able to pop a potent honor potion, which you can get from Alchemy Academy for a few 100,000 gold. The others in the team can also pop one of these at the 2 million HP mark. Anyway, so on screen is the first run. I've got two different ones to show you just because on the second one there was a little bit more leeway. Anyway, so the way we're going through this is literally just a case of rotating your skills and the Arch Pally making sure whenever the green boxes appear, they are hitting the hill. Of course, being a Lord of Order, you're able to get in there and sort of rotate the hills. I roughly do it about 2 to 3 seconds after an Arch Pally, but that is just my own preference. However, let's go along and speed this up. You'll notice the damage will slowly start decreasing, believe it or not, although it looks like it's actually increasing at the moment. But once you start getting through the initial phases, once you get below the 10 million HP mark, it really does start changing up. Now I'm just going to speed it up even more because, as you can imagine, this fight takes quite a while. So on average you're going to be spending somewhere around 7 to 10 minutes actually doing this, and that's presuming you don't wipe at the end and you get it all perfectly. So let's slow it right down. The reason I wanted to show you this part is because Deso actually died, and as he's running Naval Commander we got away with it purely because you still have all the effects taking place and you're able to just survive and carry on going. He could just come back in and join in. You don't end up in that horrible death cycle that I'm sure many of you are finding yourself stuck in. Anyway, let us carry on with the fight. So what you will notice now is our damage is actually roughly half of what we were doing earlier. However, we're now approaching 5 million, and this is where things are going to get slightly more interesting for you, because this is where the strategy really starts to come into it. At the minute we haven't had to do any switching out, however that is where we're now going to change it up. So as you can see, we have now only got 3 players in the map. That is because Deso has logged out. That is the change from Naval Commander into Void High Lord. The reason he doesn't just go to the left is because you have to defeat all the enemies in the room, so you can't just go left change, you have to literally log out, come back in. However, as soon as he's back in, he will pop a potion. We, as the rest of our team, don't need to on this particular run because his damage will be more than sufficient to carry us over the line. And as you can see, we are now onto the final stand phase. You can literally just go about spamming your skills, trying to get in every single hit possible, and you should be absolutely fine. And before you know it, Drakath will be going down, which is absolutely brilliant. And then you can go along, turn your quest in, and then Bob is your teapot. So that was very nice. However, I am going to show you a slightly different run where we did all pop our own potions, just to show you, that is another option if you want to do it. It's probably better for safety reasons, just to make sure you do enough damage. However, on this particular one, you can now see our damage is absolutely tiny. This is a totally different group of players as well. This is the first time they've done it. I was just trying my best to get them all through it. In this case, it's actually Damien who's running the Naval Commander and Void High Lord switch, which is what is basically exactly going to happen right now. We're back down to 3 players. This time it takes a little bit longer for him to come back in, but that was a good example then to show you have got a little bit of leeway with this. Between Lord of Order and Arch Paladin, you should just about manage to get the heals through and see you until it gets to that 2 million mark. Again, that is literally about to happen now. So as soon as that happens, this time round, I've got my potion ready to go. So we're going to just do a few more rotations, and as soon as we see that writing come up, we're going to pop that potion, and then we can go absolutely ham on the boss. And as you can see, the damage is back again, which is why I said not to worry that we were doing solo earlier. This time, I think we cut it really, really fine. I reckon we had literally 2 seconds to spare on this run. That's just me counting in my head. But there you go. Any second now, the boss goes down, and that is the way I would do it, folks. Now, we're just going to pop on screen just a couple other strategies. These are ones I got really, really close with. That Chrono Commandant, Stonecrusher, Archpaladin, and Lord of Order was the one you saw at the start of the video. I fully believe you can do it with that one. And then you've also got Naval Commander, Void High Lord actually in the same group, which was the one above. Again, that one got really close to it, but it is a little bit harder to sustain because you will find that the Naval probably ends up going down once or twice. Anyway, guys, thank you all very much for watching. I hope that gives you a little bit of help along the way. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, leave the video a like, and I'll see you all again incredibly soon.